What's up, guys? So as you saw in the title, you probably know this is going to be what your legendary weapon says about you. These videos take quite a bit of time to do. So if you guys wouldn't mind subscribing, liking the video, helping this out, boosting the algorithm and whatever, that'd be awesome. But anyway, let's just get right into it. So there's two types of Cryptblade players. There's the pure Shadow Cryptblade with Jet Striker, and then there's the hybrid Cryptblade. Pure Shadow Cryptblades with Jet Striker are weird and odd. I really don't like you, especially if you made a Cryptblade build only after you realized the crit went through block. It's been nerfed now, but you know what I'm talking about. You know it, you know. If you are on a hybrid Cryptblade that is not ice, then you're chill. Gale is cool. Gale is chill. Ice, on the other hand, you're going to be abusing the cheese mantra known as Permafrost Prison. And nobody likes Permafrost Prison. You're weird for that. Anyways, if you're playing a pure Shadow Cryptblade or an ice Cryptblade, then you're weird. If you're playing another hybrid, or you made your pure Shadow Cryptblade before the crit went through block, then you're cool. Oh, the deep spindle. The deep spindle, it's been through a lot. I've had a bunch of deep spindles, and I'm a little bit biased towards it, but at the same time, if you're playing like a deep spindle contractor or something, you're kind of weird for that, because Shadow Eruption is broken. Everyone knows Shadow Eruption. Shadow Eruption goes like, you slip it by someone's block and then use the crit and it block breaks them. Great. Everyone knows that combo. Deep Spindle, it's a really strong weapon. It's on light, which is a little bit less good than medium or heavy. That's gonna get some angry comments, but I'd say the Deep Spindle is pretty well balanced. Currently, it's been nerfed a bunch of times. It's pretty easy to avoid. It's not too unfair. I'd say it's somewhere in the middle. I'd say both shadow weapons are fairly balanced now that the Cryptblade crit is blockable and Deep Spindle has all those warnings for when they're critting. Yeah, if you play this, you're just kind of normal, kind of average, kind of cool, depending on your build. If you're playing a contractor or one of those basic builds, then you're kind of weird, but it's kind of a run-of-the-mill shadow weapon. It's what you play if you want to play Shadow Light. Alright. Let's be real. You don't play this weapon. Nobody really plays this weapon. I have never seen someone actually play Ignition Deepcrusher off of like certain cheese builds and blood. The last time I saw Ignition Deepcrusher off of blood was when I made my Deepcrusher Assassin build, which is most definitely a cheese build. Really, if you're playing this, you're probably lying. I don't see anybody. Clubs are just kind of bad. Nobody plays clubs. Wraith Claw, oh Wraith Claw. This is probably one of the weapons that has gone through the most amount of like turmoil in terms of people liking it or hating it. I feel like you either like this weapon or you hate this weapon. Most people who play it, right, are a bit weird because a lot of times they're on flame and do some stupid ABA air combo. But on the other hand, the grounded crit sucks and the aerial crit is the thing that carries it. I don't know what else to say. If you play this weapon, you could either be weird or you could be chill. It's really a toss-up to see what that is. Oh, Iron Requiem, the weekly slop weapon from 3 weeks ago. You notice how there's a common pattern with the devs adding a weekly weapon every single week? I wonder what this week's will be. But anyway, the Iron Requiem is pretty good. If you're running a specific close range build, then you're chill. I like it when people run close range or like medium range and just run away to reload. But if you play with metal turrets and sit next to your metal turrets with like a tower defense monkey, like from Balloons TD6 or something, or Balloons Tower Defense, then you are weird. Do not do that. Do not use Metal Turret. Metal Turret is a weirdo thing to use. Just play Reinforce like the rest of the entire game, instead of relying on Metal Turret to sit there and wait till zone. Anyway, if you play Iron Requiem like a normal person and not like a cheesy weirdo, then you're chill. On the other hand, if you play Iron Requiem on a cheesy build that's like Iron Turrets and Permafrost Prison type of cheese, do not get anywhere near me. Please. I fought one of those, and it was not fun. If you use the Flareblade Commas, you're a bit of a unique player. You're pretty off meta. There's not many people who use this, so that's pretty cool. You're probably unique. You aren't necessarily a trend follower, and I think that's pretty cool. Next up is going to be the Light's Final Toll. The Light's Final Toll is a 60 willpower, 35 light weapon that used to be good, but if you still use this, you're probably clinging onto the past, or you have some weird build that really annoys people who fight it. But it's most likely that you're just incapable of letting go. Is going to be Soulthorn. Soulthorn is probably one of the more meta picks. You're oftentimes Silent Heart or Chain Warden. You also may be Blade Harper, but a lot of times you are playing either Attunementless, Shadow, or Gale for the most part. Attunementless, Shadow, or Gale, and you're pretty much a trend follower. You play a lot of what the other people are playing, and you probably saw the build on YouTube. Or you're just using No-Go's build. Next up is going to be the Imperial Staff. The Imperial Staff is a pretty interesting weapon. Not a lot of people use it, except on Silent Heart. The weapon is pretty good. The only problem is that it has no enchantment, and if you use this, you're off meta, and I mean, especially if you don't use it on a Silent Heart build, you're pretty off meta, and I think that's pretty cool. If you play Imperator's Edge, you are either attunementless or lying. You can't play this weapon with an attunement unless you go super low investment, but that doesn't really count. Oftentimes you're going to be on Silent Heart or on Jet Striker or Star Kindred for that matter. But with the weapon's huge strength investment and the huge stat investment, it's pretty much impossible to make a build that's actually unique. So it's a little bit on meta, and I mean, it's still a pretty cool choice. It's still good, and at least it takes a bit of skill. Are you using this weapon because you like it, or are you using this weapon because it's the weekly slop legendary and you had to make a build for it? I'm guessing it's the second one, because nobody willingly plays this weapon. I don't even know how to, is it Fractine? Yeah, I think it's Fractine. This is the weekly slop legendary weapon for this week, the week that the video is coming out in. But I don't know. If you play this, you probably don't actually play it, and you just put it on and made a build for it. If you actually are maining this, I don't believe you. Next up is going to be the Kyrsieger. The Kyrsieger is pretty much exclusively reserved to cheese builds. I have not seen a legitimate player ever play on this weapon. If you main this or play this, you are playing on a cheese build. Your build is probably Vision Shaper, and it probably uses Thunder. And you probably also charge up the beam while someone is stuck in electro carve and block break them. This is a weird weapon. If you are weird, you play this weapon. Oh, Pyre Keeper. The worst weapon ever created by a developer of this game. This weapon makes me unimaginably angry. Everything about it is just so bad. Anyone who uses this, I despise you. Please play a different weapon. This is not cool. This is not fun. This is not nice. If you play this, you're weird. Next up, the off-meta.
First of all, you're not off-meta, you're just a fucking nick.
Fire pick. Fleetski's Inferno. If you play this, you're kind of playing the off-meta. Most people would just choose to go with a Pyre Keeper, but you chose the Fleetski's Inferno, and I think that's pretty cool. Especially, you get extra credit for playing a club, because nobody plays clubs. The Rosen's Hellflame. If you play this, you are lying, because nobody plays this anymore. It got nuked in one of the updates, and by nuked I mean they removed the bug where the critical hit through parry and block and dodge. So if you consider that a nuke, then yes, the weapon got nuked. But nobody plays this anymore. If you play this or main this, you're lying. I don't know how else to rate you. You just don't exist. If you played it before, you'd be weird, but I don't even think that you guys exist anymore. I think everyone who was playing it just swapped off of it once it was terrible. Hellbreaker is the weekly slop legendary, Part 2. This weapon was just added in a weekly by a dev who didn't care, and it's just been kept in. I don't know what else to say. I don't think anybody actually mains this weapon because it's terrible. It's not good. I don't think that they should buff it because it's obnoxious. It's not even a good idea. But if you play this, I guess that's cool because you're playing a terrible weapon. But I don't even think anybody actually plays this weapon. So I don't know how else to rate it. Gran Ruska. In recent times, this weapon has pretty much only been used for flame and Ironsing builds, so those are like the lower spectrum. But paired with Gran, which is on ice, obviously, and ice is really good, they become pretty good. I don't really know how to rate this. I'd say that it's pretty cool if you use a Gran, unless you're playing Blood. If you're playing Blood Gran, then please don't talk to me. You decided to play this with Jet Striker, and you thought you were unique. Little did you know, every single person on the entire planet has used a Kyrsieger Jet Striker build. This is probably the most seen weapon for Jet Striker in the entire game. I also have seen this quite a few times paired with Blood. I don't know if that's just me, but it's also oftentimes paired with Blood. I don't really know how else to say it, but if you use this and you're one of the two things mentioned, you're odd. Otherwise, you're pretty cool because this weapon is not exactly super great. I mean, it's good, but it's not super great. Oh, wow. Well, this is the second weapon that I hate. I don't hate this weapon because of the weapon itself. It's really more about the attunement. If you play this and you are on a Jet Striker, Arc Warder, or Dawnwalker build with Pure Thunder, never even exists near me. I don't want to smell the stench of you. Because if you play this weapon with one of those builds, you are obviously a tier 3 sub to multiple Twitch streamers. will remain unnamed. Let's just say that they're not in the gaming section of Twitch. Yeah. You also probably mod for the Phantom Forces Discord server. If you know, you know. I don't really know what else to say. You just stink. Please do not get anywhere near me. Thank you. So Bolt Crusher, right? Bolt Crusher used to be really annoying. Now after they nerfed it a few times, I feel like it's down to normal strength, and I feel like the people who are playing it have sort of been redeemed by their weapon being nerfed. If you made a build after the nerfs with Bolt Crusher, you're alright. But if you abused it at its most overpowered, get away from me. Yeah, get away from me. If you play a Curved Blade of Winds, you are playing Old Reliable. Everyone has had a Curved Blade of Winds build. Curved Blade of Winds is the common build. It's common. Everyone has one. Everyone uses one. It's pretty much the standard. I don't know what else to say about you, but you're kind of just playing like everyone else has played. And that's pretty cool. It's just average. Oh, that's right. That's right. One last thing. Hero Blades. If you play a Hero Blade, then you're playing the run-of-the-mill option. The basic option. But you can use for you can just use it for whatever basic build. Especially if you're using like Shadow or Gale or Thunder. They're all good. So really that's just the run-of-the-mill option. Everyone uses those. If you use Frost or Shadow, you're kind of weird, but I don't know what else to say. Anyway, I think that wraps up the video. I think that's all the legendary weapons I was going to talk about. If I missed any, let me know down below, and maybe I'll edit the video or something and re-upload it. We'll see. I don't think I missed any, but maybe I am. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.